Welcome to the Firepower Podcast. This is a show where we talk about a comic book series, Firepower by Robert Kirkman, Chris Samnee, Matt Wilson, Russ Wooten. Today we're here talking about issue 29, closing out the series, kind of getting to the end of things. I got my friend and my co-host, Mr. Ali, today. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing quite all right. Kind of upset I missed the last issue because issue 28 is probably the
Yeah,
biggest issue in the series so far in terms of its implications. But I'm doing well. I'm glad you guys got to air your grievances out. And like Charlie said, the season is coming to an end, which is bittersweet. Issue 30 comes out this week. We're recording this February 19th. So make sure to go to your LCS, get it. It's a big, big book. It's square bound. So the last issue should hopefully be fun, a fun, good
yeah.
read.
Yeah, we were able to squeeze these reviews out in time. Like Ali said, hoping to get on for Wednesday, I guess, to do a review on the day of. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. Doing that, hoping to get Radiant Matt back on, who we had
Yeah,
in issue 28. Yeah, sucks to be unfortunately Bash. Obviously, you guys here couldn't make it today. Yeah, we tough to get the three-man weave going all the time. Just schedule is
yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
Real life happens all the time. But yeah, for the finale, we're gonna have a packed group. And I wanted to ask you kind of before we get into 29. 28 was one. Yeah, we were talking about it was one we were talking about for a long time, a very long time, like literally since it came out. You guys were always talking behind the scenes and kind of keeping it hush hush. Didn't want to spoil things for me
Yeah.
because a lot happens. Yeah, what did you just think of 28 and kind of where the series is heading now?
I mean, look, there's the good and the bad, okay, and there's more bad than good in my opinion. So I'm gonna start with the good. They've been talking about doing a full issue with splash pages for a while. Kirkman said, that'd be a good idea. Somebody thought it'd be a good challenge, and from that perspective, it's good, right? Like reading the book where every page is just filled with color and art. Um, that's pretty cool. On the other hand, I just felt like this was kind of like them trying to speed up the ending. I felt like issue 28 alone could have been a whole arc within itself, right? Like this is the thing we've been building up this
Yeah,
whole time.
that's what we said. That's what we
Yeah.
said too. It could be
Yeah.
6 issues or 12 even, like just the
Right,
pace of the
right.
series. Yeah, no, totally
Right,
agree.
right, right. And one thing we liked about Firepower is that or what one aspect of it we always talk about is that it's a quick read, the pacing is really well done, and it just felt like this issue they really 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 tried to speed it up to get to that kind of ending point. Um I mean, a lot happened. Like, I don't know. I don't want to like focus on one thing exactly because this issue, a lot of it happened, and I like the idea, right? Like the concept of it, the concept of them writing the letters, and we're talking full spoilers, so they're like writing the letters to their grandpa and reading it from Duck's perspective. Like that was a really cool idea. I would have loved to see that maybe while not kind of mushing all those events into just one issue. And obviously, with Kirkman, we know deaths are going to come. But unfortunately, this death didn't really hit as hard as it should have with me. Like I felt
Yeah,
like if this was drawn out throughout a 6 issue arc, it would have had a much bigger impact on myself.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm a little disappointed. We all love this book. I'm still obviously gonna ride it till the end. Um, but yeah, so Master Shaw's defeated right in one panel
Yeah, that was
or a
kind of
couple
the tough
pages.
thing, and Matt pointed out for sure, like, I've kind of just thought, like, it really just hit me now, like, of how this series the whole time has really just been it's been so well, like, with Somni's art, the whole time it's been show, don't tell, right? Like,
Right.
that's been the whole series, and that issue was literally the complete opposite, was like all completely just tell don't show. So like we just heard, like got to listen for everything, but yeah, we never got to see anything. It just yeah kind of put the meaning out of a lot of those big events, unfortunately. And yeah, we were talking about too, I don't know if this surprised you too, Ali, but we were talking about too how Kirkman, he was saying he didn't want to put any of those events in because he didn't want to repeat certain things. Like we've already fought the dragon, we've already fought Master Shaw, so he didn't want to repeat certain events and do certain things. Bash kind of made the joke. This is the guy who made the Battle Beast fight for that many issues. Like we had the
Right.
Invincible War, all that thing. So yeah, did you read the RC Coda, and did any of those comments
I
stand out
just
to you?
thought I just thought that's a convenient thing to say because this is what like this is sure you would be repeating certain fights, but how many stories have you read where the conflict is how many good stories at least you've read in your life,
Yeah,
whether
for the
comics
good,
or
for the
movies,
good. Yeah,
TV, where the conflict is solved, quickly, right? Or they encounter the villain once and they defeat him and then we're all done. No, you fight them once, and like the whole point of them, to me at least, the whole point of them fighting Master Shaw earlier, I forgot which issue it was, but in the previous arc, um, was really a show of power because this guy has been so mysterious and put in such high regard this whole time, and then now we see him destroy them that they have to basically pick up all their remains and practice and train to all get better to even have a chance at fighting him. And then we don't get to see the fruits of all that labor. That's a little
yeah.
again. I didn't really like the part. Or at least we saw it in the background. And I don't want to take away from the art from this book because this issue had some great, 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 great art. It's just the
Every page,
context around it, or yeah.
every single page was gorgeous for sure. And yeah, like even the little moments, like yeah, Doug falling out of the plane, and yeah, he couldn't fall, so
Right.
Owen had to push him in the pool. Like yeah, like little things like that, like stuff in the Invincible War. It was little moments like that that made us really remember those events. Like not so much the events itself.
Right.
So yeah, that's kind of what the big thing that kind of stood out for us. But yeah, it
I actually didn't
sounds like
consider
you were
that.
the same. Kind of sounds
I
like you
didn't
were.
I didn't consider that. Like this way of kind of going through the events of what happened in this issue, it robs us of those little moments that
Oh, for
ultimately we do
sure.
end up
Yeah,
remembering.
like we remember the Viltrumite War spoilers from like all those little tiny kids splattering, like
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
just brutal, like shit, like crazy moments like that. So yeah, but this issue definitely gets more back into form. I'm curious. It definitely didn't sound in the RC Coda like the letters were an idea that he had for a crazy long time. So it does seem like it needed to be closed out maybe a little faster than he was expecting. I don't know if it was originally supposed to be 36 or maybe 30, but yeah,
That's what he
yeah.
says, right? That's what he did with Oblivion Song at least too.
Yeah,
It was
that's yeah.
36 issues. Yeah.
Yeah, he did
And,
that with
and and
36.
that's what we're saying though, right? We're saying if this issue was another arc, we would have been at 36. But then what Kirkman is saying is it's 36 with if you count the prelude, because that was about 6 issues
Ah,
worth. So
gotcha.
he's saying if you count the
That's fair.
prelude, it's
Okay, that no,
36
no,
issues.
that's completely fair. So that is 36, and that makes me rethink his plans. Maybe this was more so along the lines. So yeah, that's a really good point here. So yeah, we'll get into this issue. First off, the covers. We get Corey Walker. Corey Walker teaming up back with Kirkman on 28. Not for the main cover. The main cover of Samnee. Beautiful cover. Obviously, we get Owen kind of just in the big footprint of the dragon. Super nice cover for sure. And then we get Corey Walker and Matthias Lopez on another beautiful Master Shaw variant. We've been getting a lot of Master Shaw variants, which I love. He has such a badass design. Might as well use it, right? So yeah, did you get this Corey Walker one? I'm assuming Bash did, but did you?
That's the cover A, right? Yeah.
No, I think the Corey Walker one's the cover B. It's the
Oh, the
Master
one with
Shaw.
Master Shaw. No, I didn't
Yeah,
get it. Yeah, cover A is by Sony.
yeah,
No,
no,
I only got the cover A, the one that's in
okay.
our background.
Okay, so I guess we'll go previously on next one, then we'll get into this. So previously in last issue, the Johnson family arrived in Chicago to face Master Shaw and the Dragon head on. The fight was long and brutal. They forced Haley and Doug to front lines. Um, I don't know, changing both of them in the process. With their combined efforts, the Johnson family was able to fell the dragon and defeat Master Shaw, but at a great cost. The fighting had extended into the surrounding neighborhoods, and unfortunately, caught Bill Johnson in the crossfire, which you saw. Super devastating moment, for sure, and just leads right into this. What do you think about this death? You
That's
know, you were saying it didn't quite hit you as much as it could have.
yeah.
But did you expect it to be Bill? And yeah, what do you think?
Yeah. I mean, halfway through this issue, I mean, I'm not gonna say like I expected it way before because I didn't, but halfway through reading this issue, I was like, okay, something's about to happen. Like Bill, has to do something. Because think about it, you're sending those letters all this time. We never got a single letter back. Like it just didn't sit right with me.
Yeah.
But this is probably like one of the worst ways to die. I know drowning is one of the worst ways to die, and getting burnt alive is one of the worst ways to die. So poor Grandpa Bill, may he rest in peace.
Yeah. Luckily, Peanut Butter was there. It was kind of questioning
Yeah.
how Peanut Butter was totally fine when Bill was and everything was kind of put to dust. But Peanut Butter, who knows? Also a question I kind of brought up, the joke, and it was actually in this RC Coda. Do you expect? Are we getting Peanut Butter channeling the firepower next issue? Going Super Saiyan.
And that'd be
Is
pretty
it
cool.
is
That'd
it
be
just
pretty. He'd be the
humans?
only one in the family that
Because
can do it
because
yet.
we were thinking, like, this whole thing's channeled to emotions and desires and stuff like that, like, and love and, like, Peanut Butter, man, like, he loves his family too, like, you can't
All I'm gonna say
pass
is
him
the
up.
dragon isn't a human, and the dragon has firepower. So
Hey,
if
there
the
you go,
dragon
there
can
you
get
go.
it, I don't see
Hey,
why peanut butter can't.
that's the only example I need. We already got that cover, issue 28, we got him
Right.
fighting in that dream. So yeah, who knows? Who knows? But yeah, it's definitely everyone's kind of just in complete like devastation here, and yeah, definitely Owen's broken, just
Yeah.
completely. He says, "Dad, like he was my father." He says, like yeah, he can't really process this completely yet. Doug doesn't know how to spell grandpa, obviously, which is pretty funny. But yeah, it's a crazy scene. And actually, 3 pages in, kind of, I don't know if it made me roll my eyes, but I definitely laughed a little bit. We'll
What?
just
The dragon?
we'll skip to that big point here. So yeah, so Bill, everyone's devastated for Bill. We skip back to Chicago. They've kind of been keeping monitors on the dragon, and they're kind of studying him because last time obviously we saw he died, but he didn't. So yeah, this time he's dead for one page. And yeah, we see his eyes kind of zip back into his head and just kind of go back. So yeah, what'd you think about this? Did you think the dragon was coming back at all? Let alone this soon?
I mean, I'm pretty sure at this point we knew that it was ending at issue 30, and I
Yeah.
was like, wait, so if Master Shaw is not like the ultimate villain, who's it gonna be? Is it the dragon? So that's what I'm starting to think now, that the dragon is actually the one behind it all. Like maybe the dragon was controlling Master Shaw this whole time. Um, but the it's not Master Shaw that was the real threat. It's actually the dragon.
That's fair. That's fair. I still, a part of me thinks that the dragon's still too innocent,
You think
in
so?
this
You
way.
think
Not too
it's being
innocent, but
used?
I think, yeah, I think whatever power entity, yeah, has taken over this dragon completely, and yeah, maybe it can't help it, but yeah, or obviously it can't help it, but yeah, it definitely could be. Yeah, it's definitely a pretty evil looking being for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, back to Master Shaw here, and this also, like, last issue they really showed us, the like they tried to show us for sure how lots of time has been passed through all these events. Like every page, I don't know how long they were, but yeah, every single page was a big passing of time. Like they were in
Right.
completely different places, fighting different battles with new people. So yeah, even this one does for sure. So kind of like little bits of information I feel like we're missing in a way. Like example, like we cut over to Master Shaw, locked up, And I don't know if you can tell me, but like where is he like locked up? Like
I'm actually not sure. I don't think they
Like I,
really
I, I have no idea. Like
specify.
they just cut to him. So yeah, so they're kind of in Chicago, and yeah, they got to say
It
goodbye
would make
to
sense if
peanut
it's in
butter again.
Chicago because that's where
Yeah,
the dragon
they
was.
got
That's where the
yeah,
last fight
they
was,
have to
right?
say goodbye. What one line I do like is Owens like says like the grandma tries to get the kids to stay, and Owen says we need them. And Doug just kind of smiled out the window. That was kind of a big change of events from when he first said like, oh no, just keep them out of this.
Yeah.
So he knows that they're really a part of this. But yeah, then they just cut to him tied up here in this room. So yeah, I tried to figure it out. I don't really know where
See, I
he's.
thought he was dead. Just based off last
And
issue.
that's also the thing. They made it seem like he was dead. So it was
Yeah,
no really. Yeah, he's not
I'm pretty sure
scarred
there was
here
a
at
there was a
all. Like
page. One of the pages was him. You know what? I can pull it up. I'm pretty sure it was one of the pages where he was like charred to a crisp, basically.
yeah, he was definitely charred to a crisp. So
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, it was
time
Haley, Doug, and Kelly all shot fireballs at him, and you could see him like burning up.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't know how much time has passed for sure. He's definitely got that Wolverine rejuvenation going
Healing
on, but
factor, yeah.
yeah, 100%, he's got that healing factor. But yeah, we get some big points here that do change kind of the course of the series. For sure. And Master Shaw, while he's locked up, he's just saying he offers no assistance or anything. I guess they're just wondering, or it was funny kind of before the dragon wakes up, they were wondering like if this was all over, like, but oh, it didn't sit right with Owen. Like he didn't really think it was over yet. So yeah, the dragon breaks up, and he's going to Master Shaw to kind of figure this out. And he says, you guys are lost. He says, I offer no assistance, no answers, no hope. I only give you a warning. No prison can hold the serpent's will. So that's what
So
he
the dragon
says.
was controlling Shaw, not the other way around.
Yes. Yeah. So
Yeah.
so yeah, definitely. Yeah. So that was controlling him, which is crazy. So because we knew he was talking about, I believe that was in 27. He was talking about how he had memories before. How
Yeah.
he was choking out one of those guys. He's like, oh, weird. Like I used to want to be one of you. I used to want to be loved by you people. Like I have those faint memories. So yeah, we finally get that reveal, and right away as he's kind of revealing this stuff, that's when I believe we don't 100% get the explanation, but the snakes kind of rip off him right there. So I kind of took that as the serpent's will kind of just trying to shut him up at this point.
Right, right. That's exactly
But
what I thought too. Like, yeah, this
yeah,
is not him fighting back. This is the Serpent's Will trying to be like
yeah, the serpent's
not trying
will.
to give out their
Yeah,
secrets
well,
at least.
yeah, exactly, for sure. So everyone's kind of in here stopping them. You got Waylon, Haley, Owen, I believe, yeah, Doug's there. Everyone's there. Magwang, Shenzel,
I thought
everyone's there. They're stepping on the snakes. Yeah, what's up?
I thought it was interesting that he described the dragon as an elemental force that cannot be killed but only contained.
Yes, yes.
Uh,
That's
like kind of
that
like
that
water. Yeah.
that's also, yeah. That's very true. So that's what I don't know. I'm curious what this entity is. He says, yeah, no, then water or fire. So is this the creature, the fire, or is it the earth? Like,
Like,
is it a
does it have
combination?
goals? Like, what I'm thinking now, does the dragon have an ultimate goal? Or is it
But
like a tornado, like a natural disaster that's
it,
just there?
it, it seems like, yeah, that's kind of what it feels like it's literally just an elemental force, meaning yeah, it just exists. Like it exists there. Well, I guess we don't know which element it really is. Like it's an elemental force, but like what, I guess we don't really know what elemental force that really is. Like I guess the serpent's will is the elemental force. I don't really know. But yeah, like to me, I still think there's something behind the dragon. I'm not sure it's still so easy as
Okay.
that. Like it could also, I don't know if we find out too, fear is a big thing.
That's what
Too.
they say then in the
I
next
don't
page.
think.
Magwang is
Yeah,
talking to Shaw. He's like, and he says Owen believes that love is the key to wielding the firepower. That's when Shaw says, "I had plenty of love in my day. Days that have long past. Some are fortunate to walk a path of love, but he has found his firepower in fear." And then you see his body just disintegrate into ash and bones.
that's so cool.
And
That was
Magwang
so
is
cool.
like, just look. This is a really nice page. Yeah, this is a really cool page. And then Magwang is just looking on in awe. And then I will say too, before we spoil what actually happens, the page following that, when they're in the airplane, this is when you start like suspecting something's going on. And this didn't start here. So to Kirkman's credit, this has been foreshadowed since issue, God, I don't know, 26 maybe, or 25. It might have been 25. This has been foreshadowed since issue 25. So whatever plans he had, he's been foreshadowing it since at least then, unless I missed something.
Who's that? Sorry, Magwang or?
Yeah, Magwang.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's what I don't like. That's what I'm very curious about is, and I, yeah, I actually really want to go back and read this now. Is does he have a plan, or was he just so desperate to tap into the firepower, like he just couldn't access love, so he had no other way than to access fear, to kind of go another way to gain that power. Um, or did he? Yeah, he could have had another motivation behind it. That's that. I honestly didn't even kind of clue that in. I kind of took it as like he's going to tap into this other source, and just like him, he says, or by fear, he says like, um, I. So he was the first person. Master Shaw helped imprison the dragon, and he
Mhm.
fell to the serpent's will. And then he says, I pray you are not tempted by its power as I was. Um, so I'm wondering if, yeah, Magwang is just kind of going into that with kind of not malicious intents, but is just going to be kind of warped by the serpent's will.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, you could be right. He could have accessed this power kind of through kind of not, definitely not with good motivations for sure. I guess we don't know either
And
way,
it's
and we don't know what, like, how he tapped into that. That's also true. Like when we've seen people, like when we've seen Kelly, like I guess she kind of feared for
that's what
not
I'm
losing.
saying.
They've
Love
all
and
had
fear are
fear.
much closer to each
They've
other
all had fear.
than
They've all had fear everywhere. Yeah, the first time,
it's
like
not love.
Owen
It's
was
not love because like
afraid.
Kelly,
He was
right,
afraid of
right,
losing. Yes.
right. You're afraid of losing someone you love. But like, is he saying Magwang has no one he loves? But that's not what Master Shaw said. Master Shaw said, where was it? I had oceans of love in my day. So yeah, it might be having one. It might be needing to love someone, and then the fear of losing them is what gets you the firepower. Because on the plane, Owen asked him, what did Master Shaw say? He said nothing useful. Obviously, like
Yeah.
that's something. That's
So
something we
who is
should
that
know.
for
So
Magwang, do you think?
I don't know. It's
Or
got to
could
be
that be
Owen. Like
someone?
it's got to be either Owen or Wei Lun. I can't imagine it being anybody else.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I don't know. That's what I'm so curious. Yeah, that's what I'm so curious about is like, yeah, he can't have he couldn't have tapped into there by fear, like, like Sinestro, like just making people
Yeah,
afraid, like,
yeah, yeah.
like he's not scaring Doug and Haley on the plane. That gave him the green power, I don't think. So yeah, I definitely think we'll get that next issue. Kind of his big fear because yeah, spoilers into it. Like Magwang, yeah, he ends up they fall out of this plane with the dragon kind of on their tail. And first of all, Doug and Haley are terrified. I love this
Yeah.
progression from them. Like Haley says, like the scariest thing is she's so much more different than she thought she could be, in good and bad ways. Like she's feeling things she didn't even think was possible for her. The scare, the like kind of, yeah, she's just so sad, scared, angry. So yeah, I just they're gonna have to learn to deal with those for sure. And Doug, yeah, he's trying to tell himself he's tough, he's strong, but he's really trying to keep it in for sure. So yeah, they jump off, and yeah, actually first before we get into Magwang, what do you think of this page? Kind of Doug just jumping off here, and kind of
I love
this
it.
whole montage. It was great.
I love the evolution of the firepower too. Like the first time we ever had someone close to flying was Owen. Oh, it was really early on when he tried to break his fall out of the plane when they got attacked by the serpent,
Yeah.
just by firing like big fireballs. That's one thing.
I think he
Now,
got pushed out of the plane too, right? Like I don't
yeah,
even
yeah, he
think he
did, he did.
purposely. Yeah, yeah. No, that's
Right,
great. That's good. So he was
but now
scared.
they just know how to
He was
fly.
scared.
Now they know. Ooh,
He was fearful. That made him
maybe
channel.
maybe on a reread we can start
Yeah, no,
noticing
for
these
sure, for
things.
sure. Yeah, because yeah, that's what I don't know. Because yeah, it does so feel like green is the strongest in a way. It feels like it's
Yeah.
kind of
Shaw was the strongest.
what's that?
Shaw, out of all the
Oh,
firepower wielders,
yeah,
Shaw was the
no,
strongest,
yeah,
stronger than Hoenn.
100,
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, no, it does, and as we see with Ma Guang too, like he does a lot of damage himself, too here. So yeah, no, it's great, and I love this. I wanted to point out this one panel. They're both like the thinking panel when they're both thinking, and they just have kind of one or two dashes or
Yeah.
asterisks just kind of
Yeah,
just in
yeah.
there, and just kind of has their thoughts described down below, which is so great, and also is this foreshadowing at all to you?
Which part?
If you read this line, she says, Haley says, "I'm scared to death, but I know I can do this because I know you love and support me." He says, "Oh, I guess she says I'm scared to death." Oh, I thought she said at first I'm scared of death, but I was worried at first that Kelly was gonna bite it, but
Honestly,
I'm
at
still
this point, I don't the only people I think will not die is Doug and Haley. I think
yeah.
anybody else is fair game.
We need a
Anybody
time jump,
else.
right? Like they're like the masters at the temple, right? Like that's got to
Yeah,
be
and we
end
already
game.
did a big time jump from the prelude to issue 1. It was
Yeah,
like
no,
years, right?
that is true.
So
That is true.
I wouldn't put it past them. But yeah, now we see it pay off out of nowhere. We see the biggest fireball, like biggest green fireball,
Yeah,
nonetheless,
it was
hit the
huge.
dragon, and this one actually like did something. It broke the
Knocks the scale.
scales.
Yeah, literally
Yeah,
knocks the scales off. It's pretty crazy, and the reveal page I do have to say is super badass. Like
it
it is,
is.
definitely saw it coming a little bit, like when he was talking to Master Shaw. But man, such a cool page. Yeah, the
Well,
colors,
like
the smoke, everything.
this man just learned how to use the firepower like within the last, let's be generous and say, a couple of days. Okay, and in those couple of days, he can only make huge ones, which is fine. But he can fly. I don't know about that part.
No, I took and to me, I took this as he learned the firepower right now. That's how I
Yeah,
took it.
that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking too.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I don't even think it's a couple days. I think he learned it, but maybe you're right. Maybe he could have, but I think that little bit of fear, like him knowing about fear and not needing to tap into that love, I think that helped him,
You know what
for
his fear
sure.
could be, and I'm gonna this is gonna be my final guess, I suppose, before we read issue 30. Maybe his fear is being overlooked, being left behind, always being in Owen's shadow, never being able to live up to what Owen's doing.
Yeah,
Owen started training later, learned the firepower much earlier. Owen has a whole family that loves him, and Magwang is kind of stuck doing what he's been doing, or kind of like stuck in his improvement from back when they were at the temple together. That's what I think his fear is. Maybe it's a little more leaning a little bit more into envy. Isn't it green the color of envy, right? Or jealousy? I'm gonna look that up. I'm pretty sure.
yeah. Look that up. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm curious. Yeah, I'm super curious if which I think he will be corrupted in some way. He does seem like a very corruptible character in some senses.
Yeah, green can symbolize envy.
Okay, okay, so yeah, that could be a really good call. And one thing I do love, so kind of we get last issue. Also, too, we saw them combining all their fire powers. We saw them combine every color together to shoot the dragon. We saw the blue, the white,
Yeah.
the orange. And we saw that. So obviously, there's only one color missing now. I think is their secret weapon. I think is kind of gonna be. It's going to be their secret weapon, I think, because one thing Master Shaw says too. He says, "The dragon, it is weakened now, but it is not enough. It will retreat to heal and recover, only to attack again. It will need to sustain far more damage to bring about its hibernation. Only when it's faced with a full burning will it cocoon itself once again." So yeah,
Yeah.
that full burning, I think, is definitely all those colors. I'm curious if we're missing any colors. I feel like we've seen most by now.
What
I
do
feel
we
like
have? We have red
purple
or
could be
orange, I
cool.
guess.
Purple could be cool. But yeah, yeah, we have orange. We have kind of red. I feel like sometimes when Owen's more mad, like they can be more red, but maybe not. But yeah, actually, Kelly's are definitely more dark and deep. Like if you look at them. So yeah, we got blue, orange, like lots of those.
Yeah, Kelly's compared like Doug's is more like light yellow, and Kelly's are a lot more orange.
Yeah, so yeah, this is cool, but it's just
Remember, they're
and
dense. They're
it
dense.
could be good for a reread, but like, do you think this is something that would have served the story better? Do you think this is something you would have liked to find out sooner in the story, the meaning behind these powers, or do you think it doesn't matter? It
I
doesn't help the
for
story.
me for me, I wouldn't necessarily have wanted it to be in the beginning, but as long as they expanded on it or used that concept in some way at some point.
True.
So which I like they gotta explain it
And I guess we
or
don't even need
dive
we
into
don't
it.
even really know that full concept yet. So yeah,
No, but wasn't
I'm
it wasn't it them who said that? Was it didn't Kirkman or Samnee say something about that in RC Coda that the colors do mean something? We just don't know
yes,
yet.
yes,
Yeah.
100%. So I do think that will be expanded on. Um, I'm curious if we'll find out more about Master Shaw or if is this the end of him?
We might get a little
We
bit, but
might but yeah, honestly, if this is the end of him, I can't say I am, but like, does this satisfy you at all?
I mean this issue it was a good issue, right? It's just you kind of after issue 28, and I'm sure Bash and even Matt for that matter would share the same sentiment. Is that it kind of soured on us after issue 28 because we were kind of looking forward to that for a long, long time. But at least with this issue, it kind of gives you something new to think about, something new to
Yeah,
theory
that's true.
craft on.
That's true. 100%, 100%. I personally, I really hope we do go back in issue 30 to see those beginnings he was talking about. I want to see
Mm.
the first time they kind of were fighting the dragon. I want to see him get enclosed in that rock. I want to see all that stuff, like what caused him um to happen, all these things. And I love how like he dies here. He kind of just he crumbles like a rock too. Like he kind of like same kind of thing. He just turns
Yeah,
to dust kind of.
yeah, yeah.
But
That's
yeah.
pretty good. They actually talk about that in Dakota too. Somebody said that was a very fun page to
Oh, really?
draw, and the
No,
colors on it were really
that
cool. Yeah.
that was a beautiful page. It really was. This is, yeah, super impressive. The guy's always super impressive. But yeah, that's I don't know. Definitely excited to see Mo Guang in here. Get some action. It's just
Anything
I
stick out to you from Dakota?
let me see. Not really actually. I don't think I pulled much out of
I got.
I thought it was interesting for me that I thought it was funny how when Somni draws like he sets a timer.
Oh
He
yeah,
sets a
yeah,
timer to just help with his efficiency. He times every
yeah.
single panel he does, every single page, every single panel, just to see kind of where he can improve and how he can get more efficient, I guess. And
Something
yeah.
that stuck out to me in this one because honestly, most of this RC Coda is just them kind of talking about the issue. Like this was cool, the firepower was cool. But something that stuck out to me is Samnee asks, "Do you think that people are gonna say I love the book where people threw fireballs until they started flying? Then I was out." And then Samnee says, "Well, they're not even really flying, as we find out in the next issue." Spoiler alert. So I wonder what that means.
That's true. I think, and
Are we?
I think they more so, yeah. And I don't know if they do say this, but I think they're helping themselves from falling more in a
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
Like they're kind of just like, yeah, they're just trying to stop that fall, like just break it a little bit, slow it down. So yeah, that's funny though. And yeah, I loved how he thought it was the last RC Coda. He wasn't excited for one more. But
Mm.
I'm curious if we're gonna get a extra sized RC Coda next time or what. I want to get I want to hear an audio of them. Like
I
I think
know, I know.
A
If they
QR
release
code.
all this in audio,
Yeah, I don't. I think they said a couple of them. They recorded them and just kind of like got the words from the recording, the audio recording. So I think that would be cool to release one of those, but I'm not hoping for it. But yeah, definitely excited for the last one. Nonetheless, I do. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I wanted to kind of go over this one point. I know for sure Bash was feeling this way for sure a little bit. I don't want to speak completely for him, but I know I was feeling this way a little bit too. But 28, like we didn't gloss over. We did in a way. We gloss over so much, so much action. Like Owen with the government, all this stuff, and I get we need to close it out. In a way, we don't get that fight with Master Shaw and the Dragon. We don't get any of these things. Do you do you think in a way that like and I hope so too, but are you okay with everything we skipped to what we are getting now, kind of in a way? You know what I mean? Like are you
like, do
okay
I
with?
like it?
Yes, are you pleased, or what do you think about that? Like how much we skipped just to kind of be at the place we are now. Like is that
I think
satisfying for you at all?
my answer for that will have to wait till next episode because I
That's
feel like
fair. That's
I
fair.
can't answer that
That
before
is
I see
very
the
fair.
conclusion. Like if this is truly building to something epic and cool, I'm gonna swallow
That's
my
that
word.
okay. No, I do appreciate that answer too. And yeah, I actually agree with that. I totally agree with that.
Because like
Could
this is
tie
cool, right?
could
Like
tie
the
some
whole
things
like
up, yeah.
the whole
And
rival storyline, like childhood rivals since they were young. One is much better than the other. Like that storyline, yeah, it's a trope. We've seen it a million times, but people like it. A lot
yeah.
of huge
And it
stories
is
have
a thread
built
we've
on that.
seen from the very beginning. So yeah, it
Mhm.
could be cool. Yeah, we never we don't know. And one thing we do know is Kirkman has definitely nailed more finales
Right, right, right.
than he's missed. I've never read a bad Kirkman finale that I've read. So I'm excited for it. I know, yeah, we were just a little, I think, yeah, we're just definitely we wanted
Just
more
maybe
of the series,
disappointed.
I think. We were disappointed, I think, just like how much more they could have expanded and done with some of these characters and some of these things. But yeah, if this is the way if planned it, he's definitely condensing all like I guess the main stuff down in there. And I can't wait to see kind of I'm sure he has some twists and some time jumps in the finale, so I can't
I
wait for
just
those.
I just got one more thing to say about like issue 28 and what happened basically. I think a lot of it is up to expectations, right? Like maybe someone else who read the book who didn't have the same expectations that we did might have liked issue 28 because again, like I said earlier, it's a good idea. It's a good concept and it would have fit the book if it was done differently, but I don't think any of us expected this to happen. At least to us, we expected that big fight that we were building up to or conflict or what have you. Um, But yeah, I'm excited for issue 30. It's a big one. I'm gonna read it. I hope to enjoy it. And next time, I guess we'll talk about what we actually think of the whole series, especially how that the ending affected everything.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Totally agree. Tune in for that. Hopefully this Wednesday. Fingers crossed we can get the whole crew on. maybe Radiant Mal. We'll see what he's up to. So fingers crossed. It's been a blast, kind of closing this out. One more to go, so I'm happy to get there, and we'll talk to you guys this week, hopefully. So thanks for sticking with us, and stay roasty.